Theme 3, Kingship, Caste and Class. Early societies 600 BCE to 600 CE. Mahabharata. Mahabharata includes 100,000 verses, 1 lakh verses. Mahabharata was composed over a period of about 1000 years from 500 BCE onwards, and some of the stories it contains may have been in circulation even earlier. First, the critical edition of the Mahabharata. A team of scholars under the Sanskritist V.S. Sukhtankar, Sukthankar, V.S. Sukhtankar, initiated the task of preparing of critical edition of the Mahabharata. Initially, it meant collecting Sanskrit manuscripts of the text written in a variety of scripts from different parts of the country, comparing verses from each manuscript. Ultimately, they selected the verses that appeared common to most versions and published these in several volumes, running up to over 13,000 pages. The project took 47 years to complete. There were some similarities as well as regional variations were also present. Second, kinship and marriage. Many rulers, many rules and varied practices. Sanskrit terms. Kula is a Sanskrit term meaning families. Jati is a Sanskrit term meaning larger network of kinfolk. And the Vansha, VAMSH, Vamsha or Vansha is a Sanskrit term is used for lineage. So Kula is families, Jati for kinfolk and Vansha for lineage. So 2A, finding out about families. Historians analyze attitudes towards family and kinship. These are important because they provide an insight into people's thinking. It is likely that some of these ideas would have shaped their actions, just as actions may have led to changes in attitudes. Now B, that is 2B, the ideal of patrilineal. While patrilineal had existed prior to the composition of the epic, that is Mahabharata, the central story of the Mahabharata reinforced the idea that it was valuable. In very exceptional circumstances, women such as Prabhavati Gupta exercised power. The concern with patrilineal was not unique to the ruling families. It is evident in mantras in ritual texts such as the Rig Veda. Indra, a god of valor, warfare, and rain. Adi Parvan, the first section of the Sanskrit Mahabharata. Adi Parvan is the first section of the Sanskrit Mahabharata. 2C, rules of marriage. So types of marriage: endogamy, exogamy, polygamy, and polygyny and polyandry. Endogamy, exogamy, polygyny, and polyandry. So endogamy, marriage within a unit. This could be a kin group, caste, or a group living in a same locality. Exogamy, marriage outside the unit. Now polygyny, practice of a man having several wives. Polyandry, woman having several husbands. कन्यादान, arrow में कन्यादान, arrow, codes of social behavior in great detail. From 500 BCE, and these norms were compiled in Sanskrit texts known as the Dharma Sutras and Dharma Shastras. The Manusmritis was compiled between 200 to 200 BC to 200 CE. The Manusmriti was compiled between 200 BC to 200 CE. Arrow, next arrow. Dharma Sutras and Dharma Shastras recognized as many as 8 forms of marriage. Of these, the first 4 were considered as good, while the remaining were condemned. 2D, the Gotra of woman. His Gotra was named after a Vedic seer, and all those who belonged to the same Gotra were regarded as his descendants. 2 important rules about Gotra. First, women were expected to give up their father's Gotra and adopt that of their husband on marriage. Members of the same Gotra could not marry. Next point, Satavahanas in Western India and Deccan, 2nd century BCE to 2nd CE. Several of their inscriptions have been recovered, which allow historians to trace family ties, including marriages. Some rulers were polygynous. Many of the women married retained their father's Gotra in Satavahana. Also, some of these women belonged to same Gotra as their husbands. This is counter to the exogamy and also uh, endogamy or marriage within the kin group. Endogamy or marriage within the kin group, which was and is prevalent among several communities in South India. Such marriages among kin folk, such as cousins, ensured a close knit community. 2e. Were mothers important? Satvana rulers were identified through metronymics, that is, names derived from that of their mothers. From that of the mothers. In the case of the Satvanas, we know that succession to the throne was generally patrilineal. Arrow. Mahabharata terracotta sculpture from the walls of the temple in Ahi-Chhatra, UP. 3. Third point. 3. Social differences within and beyond the framework of caste. Arrow. Caste. A set of caste is a set of hierarchically ordered social categories. The ideal order was laid down in the Dharma Shastras and Dharma Sutras. Positions within the order were supposedly determined by birth. Next arrow. To justify divine order. Purusha Sukta in Rigveda describing the sacrifice of Purusha, the primeval man. All the elements of the universe, including the four social categories, were supposed to have emanated from his body. Brahmana was his mouth, Kshatriya from arms, Vaishya from his thighs, and Shudra from his feet. So, next point is A, 3a, the right occupation. Dharma Sutras and Dharma Shastras also contain rules about the ideal occupations of the four categories or varnas. Brahmanas evolved 2 to 3 strategies for enforcing varna norms. First, varna was of divine origin. Second, advised king. They advised kings to ensure their implementation within their kingdoms. Third, they attempted to persuade people that their status was determined by birth. Arrow. Adi Parvan of the Mahabharata. Nishad means hunting community. Nishad or Nishad. Nishad Raj or Nishad means hunting community. Nishad or Nishad Raj. Now 3b. Non-Kshatriya kings. According to Shastras, only Kshatriyas could be kings. However, Shangas and Kanvas were Brahmans. Shakas from Central Asia were regarded as Mlechas, barbarians or outsiders by the Brahmans. Mlechas or barbarians or outsiders by the Brahmans. Inscriptions in Sanskrit describes how Rudradaman, the best known Shaka ruler in 2nd century AD, rebuilt Sudarshan Lake. This suggests that powerful Mlechas were familiar with Sanskritic traditions. Powerful Mlechas were familiar with Sanskritic traditions. Next point. Gautamiputra Sri Satkarni in the Satvahana dynasty claimed to be both a unique Brahman, Eka Brahman, and a destroyer of the pride of the Kshatriyas. He ensured that there was no intermarriage amongst members of the four Varnas. At the same time, he entered into a marriage alliance with the king of the Rudradaman. The Satavahanas claimed to be Brahmins, whereas according to the Brahmins, kings ought to have been Kshatriyas. They practiced endogamy instead of the exogamous systems recommended in the Brahmanical texts. That is Satavahanas practiced endogamy instead of the exogamous system recommended in the Brahmanical texts. So 3c. 3c is Jatis and social mobility. Like Varna, Jatis were based on births. While the Varnas were fixed at 4, there were no restriction on the number of Jatis. For instance, people living in the forest such as the Nishadas or Nishad, or wanted to assign a name to occupational categories such as the goldsmiths or Suvarnakara, which did not easily fit into the fourfold Varna system, they classified them as a Jati. Jatis which shared a common occupation or profession were sometimes organized into shrenis or guilds. Next point. Stone inscriptions in the 5th century AD found in the Mandsaur in Madhya Pradesh records the history of a guild of silk weavers who originally lived in the Lata, Gujarat, Lata, Lata, Gujarat, from where they migrated to Mandsaur, then known as the Dashapura. Mandsaur, then known as the Dashapura. Double arrow. Double arrow. Sanskrit texts and inscriptions use term Vanik to designate merchants. Vanik means Baniya, Banik means merchants. Trade was occupation of Vaishyas according to Shastras. A more complex situation is evident in plays such as Mrichakatika, written by Shudraka. Plays such as Mrichakatika, written by Shudraka in 4th century CE. Here, the hero Charudatta was described as both a Brahmana and a Sartavaha or merchant. And a 5th AD inscription. And a 5th AD inscription. And a 5th AD inscription describes two brothers who made a donation for the construction of a temple as Kshatriya Vanikas. That is they are both as Kshatriya or and Vanika. Vanika means merchant. Vaniya. So 3D. Now in 3D beyond the four Varnas in integration. So next point so the point is Nishad. The forest dwellers are doing hunting and gathering. Populations such as nomadic pastoralists who could not be easily accommodated within the framework of the settled agriculturists. Mlechas, those who spoke non-Sanskritic languages. Mlechas were those who spoke non-Sanskritic languages. 3E, beyond the four Varnas, subordination and conflict. So so the next point is polluting activities. Handling corpses and dead animals. Those who performed such tasks designated as Chandalas. Manusmriti laid down the duties of the Chandalas. They had to live outside the village, use discarded utensils, and wear clothes of the dead and ornaments of the iron. Could not could not walk about in the villages and cities at night. Could not walk about the villages and cities at night. Faxian, Faxian, in 5th CE, wrote that the untouchables had to sound a clapper in the streets so that the people could avoid seeing them. Zhuan Zhang in 7th CE observed that the executioners and scavengers were forced to live outside the city. So the next arrow, depiction of a mendicant seeking alms. Stone sculpture, Gandhara, 3rd CE. Depiction of a mendicant seeking alms. Stone sculpture, Gandhara, 3rd century CE. Next arrow, story of Bodhisatta as a Chandala. Story part of Matanga Jataka or Matanga Jataka. Pali text where the Bodhisatta, the Buddha in a previous birth, is identified as a Chandala. Matanga said, those who are proud of their birth and are ignorant do not deserve gifts. On the contrary, those who are free from vices are worthy of offerings. So, the fourth point, beyond birth, resources, and status. 4a, gendered access to property. According to Manusmriti, the paternal estate was to be divided equally amongst sons after the death of the parents, with a special share for the eldest son. Women could not claim a share of these resources. However, women were allowed to retain the gifts they received on the occasion of their marriage as stridhana, literally a woman's wealth. This could be inherited by their children without the husband having any claim of it. At the same time, the Manusmriti warned women against hoarding family property or even their own valuables without the husband's permission. Social differences between men and women were sharpened because of the differences in access to resources. Example, Vakataka Queen Prabhavati Gupta. So the next arrow. How could men and women acquire wealth? So according to Manusmriti, men can acquire wealth via seven means: by inheritance, by purchase, by conquest, by work, by investment, by acceptance of gifts from good people. And the women can acquire by six means, that is, through bridal procession or in front of fire, that is, in marriage, token of affection from her brother, mother, or father, from her brother, mother, or father, through any subsequent gift, and whatever her affectionate husband might give her. Now, next point is 4b, Varna and access to property. Apart from gender, Varna can be used to regulate access to wealth. The Buddhists recognized that there were differences in society but did not regard these as natural or inflexible. They also rejected the idea of claims uh, to status on the basis of the birth. Buddhists also rejected the Idea of the claims to the status on the basis of the birth. A Buddhist text in Pali known as the Majjhima Nikaya is part of the dialogue between a king named Avantiputta and a disciple of the Buddha named Kachana. It reveals Buddhist attitude towards Varna. Now next is the point is the 4C, an alternative social scenario sharing wealth. Tamil Sangam poems suggest that while there were differences between the rich and the poor, those who controlled resources were also expected to share them. In Purana Ruru, one of the anthologies of the poems of the Tamil Sangam literature, 1st century CE, a bard described his pattern to other poets. Irantai, a place or a living place. Irantai, Irantai means a place or living place. A chief and his follower, stone sculpture in Amravati, Andhra Pradesh, 2nd century CE. A chief and his follower in stone sculpture Amravati AP, 2nd century CE. Now the fifth point, explaining social differences, a social contract. In a myth found in the Sutta Pitaka, Buddhists suggest that originally human beings did not have fully evolved bodily forms, nor was the world of plants fully developed. All beings lived in an idyllic state of peace, taking from nature only what they needed from each meal. However, there was a gradual deterioration of this state as humans became increasingly greedy, vindictive, and deceitful. Mahasamatta, the great elect. Mahasamatta means the great elect. Mahasamatta means the great elect. Next point. This suggests that the institution of kingship was based on human choice, with taxes as a form of payment for services rendered by the king. With taxes as a form of payment for service, taxes as a form of payment for services rendered by the king. Rendered by the king. So the sixth point, handling texts, historians, and the Mahabharata. So in arrow, didactic. Didactic refers to something that is meant for the purpose of instruction. That is dictation. Didactic means dictating. So didactic means refers to the something that is meant for the purpose of instructions. So 6A, language and content. So the point is, in the language and content is first point is Mahabharata in Sanskrit and other languages as well. Sanskrit used in Mahabharata is far simpler than that of the Vedas and of the Prashastis. Historians usually classify the content on the present text under two broad heads: sections that contain stories, designated as the narratives, and the sections that contain prescriptions about social norms, social norms, designated as didactic. Historians usually classify the contents of the present text under the two broad heads: sections that contain stories, designated as the narratives, and sections that contain prescriptions about social norms, designated as didactic. This division is by no means watertight. The didactic sections include stories, and the narrative often contains a social message. So, in the image, the most important didactic section of the Mahabharata is the Bhagavad Gita, which contains the advice offered by the Lord Krishna to the Arjuna. Now, next point is the 6B, authors and dates. The original story was probably composed by charioteer bards known as sutas. Charioteer bards known as sutas who generally accompanied Kshatriyas warriors to the battlefield and composed poems celebrating their victories and other achievements. These compositions circulated orally. Then, from 5th century BCE, Brahmanas took over the story and began to commit it to the writing. Another phase in the composition of the text between 200 BCE to 200 CE. This was the period when the worship of the Vishnu was growing in importance and Krishna came to be identified with Vishnu. Subsequently, between 200 and 200 CE and 400 CE, large didactic sections resembling the Manusmriti were added. With these additions, a text which initially perhaps has less than 10,000 verses grew to comprise about 100,000 verses, that is 1 lakh verses. This was attributed to Vyas. This was attributed to Vyasa. Now 6C, the search for convergence. In 1951-52, archaeologist B.B. Lal excavated at a village named Hastinapur in Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. Location of the site in the Upper Ganga Doab where Kuru kingdom was situated, suggests that it may have been the capital of Kurus. Bibilal found evidence of 5 occupation levels, of which second and third were of interest to us. Houses of second phase, that is from 12th to 7th BCE. So he wrote, within the limited area excavated, no definite plans, no definite plans of houses were obtained, but walls of mud and mud bricks were duly encountered. The discovery of mud plaster with prominent reed marks suggests that some of the houses had reed walls plastered over with mud. And in the next point, in the third phase, that is from third phase from 6th to the 3rd BCE. 6th to the 3rd BCE, houses of this period, he said, houses of the third phase of this period, that is, houses of this period were built of mud brick as well as burnt bricks. Soakage jars and brick drains were used for draining out refuse water, while terracotta ring wells may have been used both as well as drainage pits. Next point. The author or authors. The authors describe a polyandrous Panchali, that is Panchali. Union indicates that polyandry may have been prevalent among ruling elites at some point of time. We need to remember that creative literature often has its own narrative requirements and does not always literally reflect social realities. Now comes the seventh point, a dynamic text. Text, a dynamic text. Example, an episode from Mahabharata that has been transformed by Mahashweta Devi, a contemporary Bengali writer. She wrote, a Nishida female came with her 5 sons in a story titled Kunti or Nishadi. Yeah, we know what the story is. Kunti or Nishadi by Mahashweta Devi. So next comes the timeline number 1. So major textual traditions. 500 BCE, Ashtadhyayi of Panini, a work on Sanskrit grammar. 500 BCE, Ashtadhyayi of Panini, a work on Sanskrit grammar. 500 to 200 BCE, major Dharma Sutras in Sanskrit. 500 to 1000 BCE, 500 to 100 BCE, early Buddhist text including Tripitaka in Pali. 500 BCE to 400 CE, Ramayana and Mahabharata in Sanskrit. 200 BCE to 200 CE, Manusmriti in Sanskrit, composition and compilation of Tamil Sangam literature. 100 CE, Charaka and Sushruta Samhita works on medicine in Sanskrit. 200 CE onwards, compilation of the Puranas in Sanskrit. 300 CE, Natya Shastras of Bharata, a work on dramaturgy in Sanskrit. 300 to 600 CE, other Dharma Shastra in Sanskrit. 400 to 500 CE, Sanskrit plays including the works of Kalidas, works on astronomy and mathematics by Aryabhatta and Varahamihir in Sanskrit. Compilation of Jain works in Prakrit. Compilation of Jain works in Prakrit. Timeline 2. Major landmarks in the study of the Mahabharata. 20th century, 1919 to 66. 1919 to 1966. Preparation and publication of critical edition of the Mahabharata. 1973. J.A.B. Van Buitenen, Buitenen, J.A.B. Van Buitenen begins English translation of the critical edition, remains incomplete after his death in 1978.